And we are back with more Dwarf Fortress. Histories of Avarice and Metal. This is our fourth stream, our winter stream for the year of 17. And we continue to dig, we continue to build, we continue to reinforce. You know, as always, we're producing more clothing, more armor, and more than ever, more food and alcohol. So, we're sitting pretty these days. Really, we just need to outfit the army so that way we can start going deeper. That way we can get those rare materials, those otherworldly artifacts, and become a true mountain home. But I'm not sending my dwarves into the wilds until I've got all the gear that I properly need. Until that moment, I'm not doing it. So, it's 8:08 into the stream. We started the stream at 11:11, but 8 minutes and 8 seconds into the stream. Let's not dilly dally. Let's just get right into it. Let's continue our active game in the world of Umamnar, the Dark Oblivion, and we are returning to Inetharal, the City of Waters, on the 1st of Moonstone, early winter 17. And normally, I would use our active save, but I accidentally unpaused time for a couple minutes last night, and I don't want that. I want it from the very beginning of the 1st of Moonstone. We gotta take every moment we can get. And so, for the first time ever, and probably one of the last times ever, we're using an autosave. Sometimes they help. Oh wait, no, this isn't the first time. We did it back in year 10. I'm foolish. But hey, that was 7 years ago. Alright. Let's do this. First of Moonstone, early winter, 17, Inetharal, the City of Waters, a fortress, a capital, and eventually, a mountain home. Alright, here we are, in the City of Waters, Inetharal, in our wrestling ring. We have the Golden Beards currently wrestling. We've got 7 out of 10 here. We've got the Doc, the Queen, Izum, the Broker, Destot, the Duke, Kohler Lore, the Outpost Liaison, Melville, and we have Mebzith and Monam. And they're all just up here training, just kind of doing their thing. Mind you, we pretty much spent the end of the fall season with doing very little. You know, we were just kind of chilling. You know, we ran all of our duties to the end and just let everyone kind of just catch a vibe. It was good. And our population numbers are great. 351 dwarves, 48 are happy, 89. You know, they're pretty happy. Well over 100, you know, are, you know, still fairly happy. And then, you know, we've got, yeah, we've got 22 content dwarves, 28 mildly disgruntled dwarves, and then 4 angry dwarves and 1 pissed off dwarf. 55 dwarves in the negative? Like, that's crazy good numbers as far as I'm concerned. I don't think anyone could dispute that. So, let's take stock of what's going on in the rest of the fortress. How's Vaphus's blood outside of the chamber? Vaphus isn't able to leave his chamber. Interesting. Not much is going on in our apartments, obviously. We are working on building these apartments. Do I have a door that I can put here? We do. So I'm going to put a sandstone door there. This will make it a little easier for the commute for a lot of these dwarves to get over here. They don't have to go all the way around. They can cut across if they're willing to walk outside. It just means we're gonna have dwarves get a little sick. But you know, it could be worse. So down here, things are looking pretty good. Yeah, we stripped this out. Really didn't get much of what we were looking for, but you know, it is what it is. Let's come down to the House of Metal. Yeah, we got people down here. They do be partying. So for me to expand this little idea of mine, I'm gonna need my military down in here because we will need to station people. We will need to build walls. It's gonna be a whole thing because if we want to start getting deeper, I need to be able to mine pretty much the whole region. I need access to. Like obviously right here is something. This is some sort of structure that naturally forms. I don't know how deep it goes, but you know, this is a spot, you know, we're gonna want to work in. I just don't know how I want to approach the situation. I think what I'm gonna do is make this 3x3. Maybe even a 5x5. This is gonna be my mustering point for my deep underground stuff. Yeah, no, it's gonna go here. This is where our crew is gonna assemble for when it's time to you know, push underground. We absolutely need our military to be with our our miners when we do this, though, because there will be awful things. Because I've had a premonition, and I know in this little cavity between the heat, there's the potential for an awful thing. I'm already risking an awful thing happening here. Which does make me want to put this steel door back up. So we're going to put the steel door back. So that way I can lock the door, because steel, not the easiest thing for anything to break through. You know, they're fireproof. Well, I mean, they're magma proof, so you know it can endure a lot of damage. So yeah, down here we got a lot of important stuff. You know, we got our metallurgy, metalworks, our cooking guild. Pretty sick bar down here. And this is where we're going to be diving into the deep. So I almost want to put some weapon traps in here. What bars do I have an excess of? I have a lot of copper. Oh. Oh, well that's... Wasn't expecting that answer. But you know what? Yeah, okay. I was going to make a bunch of spears for weapon traps, but you know what? Wait. There. No, yes. That's it. Apparently the green glass rated disc is goated. I was gonna make spears, but you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna collect some sand. 30 for 30. Let's see, we gotta come back up to the surface. Eternally we need trees. You know, we never don't need to be chopping down more trees. So let's see. Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. Don't ask what I did, because I did it off screen. It was a PC thing that I was doing. Need more trees. Wait. Wait. We might actually be almost out of trees. Oh boy. Alright then, let's cut those down for now. I'm certainly gonna need more charcoal. I always need more charcoal. We're gonna take the golden beards off duty, so that way we can get our jobs approved. So otherwise, they will just sit there perpetually. What's this looking like right now? Yeah. Switch those up. Alright. Let's do the stuff. Let's get into the preamble. Take a few salt swigs off the beer and let's smoke some weed. Woo! Oh, okay. There's the Penji. Let's warm the shit up. Yeah, that was good. That was real good. All right, let's hit this blue Kush. Blue Kush resin. I don't have my pen turned on. All right, enough dilly-dallying. 28 minutes in. Let's go. It's first of Moonstone, early winter, year 17, and time moves forward. Winter has arrived on the calendar. And we just had a big changing of the guard. Oh, who's Stray Yak Cafe? The yaks are down here, are they not? They are. There's a couple that go here. Okay, I didn't realize there's two yaks there. Six hostels. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Does this obsidian go all the way down into... No. No. Does it? Okay, no. There's a hole there. Yeah, that's the tip of the vein. starts here, goes here, down into here. Oh. Okay. Oh, our steel gauntlets are made up. Got a dwarven child working on that? Okay. Is this child? Yeah, just start. Start's gonna build. He fucks with the vision. And also, for a child to be lifting that door, very impressive. Very impressive. Okay. I know we need sand. Prioritize that. I hate how close that motherfucker is. Elkbird head? Ugh. I hate that you can't put floors in after you install a door. We'll take the door down again, put the floors in, then we'll put the door back up. Just move the stuff, man. Alright, we got our blocks made. Now we're making those blades. Good shit. So we got our breastplates and mill shirts. Gauntlets. Got our helms. Probably do footwear next. Which means I need 60 more steel bars. Which means I need to wait till I have about 45 steel bars before I can even bother starting the process without getting spammed with the job cancellation notification. A lot of people learning about cooking. A lot of socializing going on down there. It's a trip, but it's a social hub. Yep, we got people hanging out in the House of Beers too. There isn't a place that isn't popping off. How's the cathedral? Ooh, yeah, we got people there too. Yo, Destat. Yes. My dude. You know who's probably still not doing it? This fella. "71 years old. Oof. I just wanted to give you access to books, dude. You're not getting your aluminum sarcophagus, though. It's just not possible. Can't do it in time. Oh, yeah. Look at that. They're getting together. The party's beginning. Where's the partying down in the House of Metal? Basement of Metal. It's a little quiet down here. Man, everyone's crowded around the bar, though. Hell yeah. Very interesting that they're all crowded around the tables right now, though. I've never seen this. Yeah, yeah. Need more logs. Butchers ended a mandate. Yeah, I've got practically no trees. And we're just going to be clear-cutting what we have for the next little while till we're able to break into the underground safely. Alright, just to up the priority. That will get me my boots and my leggings. Come over here. this floor. I'm sure I want some swords. Once this floor's set up, we're gonna put some serrated blades in there, steel doors. Oh, traps. The season's moving by fairly briskly so far. It's because we're not doing a lot of different processes at once. My dwarves are getting a lot of time to just socialize and live and pray. A lot of the focus is on the steelwork. Great. The forgotten beast, Omog, has come. A great scaly scorpion. It has thin wings of stretched skin, and it squirms and fidgets. Its pale top scales are oval-shaped and close-set. Beware its poisonous sting. Fuck yeah. Oh. Oh, that thing's actually horrifying looking. the other beast knocked out on this level? It is. Beast Wars? Ooh, ooh! It's happening. Holy fuck, Beast Wars at the gate? I didn't think that was gonna actually happen so fast. So Omog wants the smoke with the fatal Oblivion of funerals. Odrosnar Barrows. Let's see how this goes. Oh. He's bleeding. He's bleeding too. Its cephalothorax is broken. It's right. First foot is mangled beyond recognition. Okay. Oh. I think Omog's winning. Yeah, Omog's winning. Oh, that's a lot of cum. I mean, Beast Icor. What? Now his name has become Graveholes, the fatal Oblivion of funerals. Monduloges Odrosnar Barrows killed Omog. So sudden, what happened in the end there? Forgotten Beast got in the web. Free of the web. Kicks Forgotten Beast in the abdomen with his right fourth foot turns back, which is also losing the guts. Forgotten Beast is completely free of the web. Stands up. Attacks the other beast, but jumps away. Forgotten Beast kicks the Forgotten Beast cephalothorax with its right third foot, turns that which is also includes the brain. Okay, well, he's not in good shape either. Not in the slightest. Like he's bleeding all over the place. Oh, and Melbel Gekut Saxul, the Hammerlord, has bestowed the name of Kunishin upon a steel warhammer. What's that mean? Shrine Passions. Oh, he's down here on this level too. Dude's just dragging that shit all over the place. He's want some goods. Cloaks. That's easy work. You want my dwarves up here doing some stuff. Yeah, they're having a little too easy of a time. We need to get some work going, and I need to charge my phone. Phone's on the charger. Now we can do some work. So, that's one of the pads. How are we doing for the chickens? Probably have a lot of hens. Not nearly as many as I thought, so the rooster ratio is way off. Get rid of all the donkeys. We have 0 use for donkey. Gonna be a bloodbath. Probably gonna be a lot of rotten meat. Well, maybe not now that we have the cooking guild going. Yeah, so, chicken and donkey. That's what's on the menu for the winter. 17. Well, it's also, let's see. And let's see, we'll polish a bunch of sandstone just to have those just in case, and then we can encrust a bunch of stuff with sandstone. Oh, and it's almost the end of early winter. It's 27th of Moonstone. Just realized that. Other jobs. How much honeycomb do I have? I'm gonna just say 50 in case I get 50. I'm gonna make 100 jugs. go with sandstone because we have so much of it. So we're making Forgotten Beast crowns and Brother Tooth crowns, it looks like. Cool. I want more people to work on crafts at a given time. I think we'll just drop a cool 6-pack. Stop. He's pondering. They're all pondering. Will they ponder the orb? Or write a new book? What does Ushur want? Wants more swords. Oh, yeah, we're still constructing those traps. Forgot we have to bring all 30 blades. But this is an important place to have these. Because if we have to deal with anything bad, we lock it in that tiny little hallway, and things only end one way. right down here. Ooh, we got our discs. Yeah, those are gonna be good. Unfortunately, only one person works on the discs at a time. Oh, our sand's collected. I did not fix it. Neth Adilsterus, the Mace Lord, has bestowed the name Tumam Okol upon a steel shield, which translates to the morals of voice. I like it. Yeah, it did. Wow. I was wondering, with the one noise gate, I was like, why am I hearing some sort of sound of like water filtering, you know? type sounds. It wasn't that. It was a fan in the next room over. And apparently my mic was picking it up even with the fucking noise gate. The door was open by less than an inch. But closing it, yeah, that's all the world's difference, but still. 7 hostels. Is that 22, 31, 27. Sure wants more stuff? Brother, why do you want more swords? I need to come up here. Silver, brass, bronze, and copper. We're making more coins. So even though they're not really worth much, we are going to make zinc coins. Platinum coins. What else do we have? So I can do the pewters. bismuth. And we'll make the short swords after. We're still setting these up. Yeah. Well, traps aren't set up in a day. In fact, it seems to take a couple weeks. We got some toys made up for Christmas. Yo. Is he drippy? He is drip. Holy fuck, he's dripped the fuck out. Look at that. Kohler lore. The Duke of Waters. And he's got the full fit. He's got Gege Thritlet, Usis Satnang, and Ibelgishud. And other than his hood being lightly worn, everything is fresh. He's got a fresh fit. Find a way to get him to go pray some point, though. Mans needs to pray. Actually, I know how to do it. I know how to do it. I figured it out. I'm gonna put it in his office. He's got a statue of Barrows in his office, I believe. Yeah, that's Barrows. I'm adding that. Where is it? Where is it? We still have ways of upping the quality. Glass on glass, baby. Cole wants stuff. And Uzu's visiting. I have been wondering if some of Cole's pathing issues have been due to him being both the manager and the Duke. If maybe it's just it's a little much for someone with a bad memory to process. Ah, there we go. I'm gonna want to change just my top tier engravers. Engraver.
lot of our glass blocks are probably deep underground, so... At it. Oh, we're at it. There. Glass portal. Some of the glass things, I'm not sure what they're used for, like vials. Why are they still trying to do the bone crowns? That was a canceled job. we got people working on those jobs. Taking their time, but they're working on them. Oh, did we just get a book put in here? Oh no, thought we did. Yeah, Cole's like, why the fuck's everyone in my office? Damn, that was my roommate sneezing. do want to retool my staffing at some point. We are in the month of Obsidian. Hmm. Very limited with trees right now. Made our wax crafts, so that's nice. Good feeling. And raw as fucking strawberries. I can tell it's Rawl's room from so far away because it's the only room in the entire fortress that you'll find covered in strawberries because the man's obsessed with strawberries. It's his favorite food, which, to be fair, it's one of my favorite fruits. But, dude, Still slaughtering donkeys and roosters. Asses and cocks. Asses and cocks. That's what it's all about. Well, we got some of our traps set up. Look at that. You can see the buzzsaws just sitting in there, waiting, hungry. And they hungry. And they're gonna get the gonna bite into his flesh. Was this? Was this? Domas Teshkadzazir, the scribe, has been possessed. Trapdoor's workshop? Okay, that makes sense. The dwarves are a rippin'. How are we doing for hide? Yeah, the vibes changed a lot since the tier took over. But it's nice because like she's like at the bar with her husband, so that's always a nice vibe. Mm. Does that immediately put it back? It does, okay. sniff out the royal junk. We can move all our bracelets and our figurines over there. We're making good progress on the steel bars. It's kind of like, gotta spend a season making steel bars, and then you can spend a week burning through the steel bars. Halfway through the month of Obsidian. Getting close to the end. And really, we just caught a vibe this season. That's all we did. Just vibed out. How's the basement of metal looking? a little dead right now. That's okay. Everyone's kind of working, you know. Some years we end with a big party. Some years we end with a pretty solid labor push. Eneth Adiltharas, the Mace Lord, has bestowed the name Bet Analness upon a steel mace. What does Bet Analness mean? Bet Analness means calm wars. Okay. He's slapping. He's been sitting there for a hot minute. I'm gonna do it. Make another steel object. Steel door. Oh, you know what? Let me look. The whole squad's kitted out. Is Melville? I think Melville's got a good kill to him too, though, doesn't he? Does. So what we're gonna do is I can't remember. Does she have the webs? No, it's got a poisonous bite. He's constantly losing consciousness. So I'm going to take the Emerald Swords, the Armored Laws, and I'm going to station them down here. Then eventually, once they're down here, we got that steel door, we're gonna mine this out. I'm gonna send them out and kill that motherfucker. We're going on the attack. Either that's how we end the year, or that's how we're gonna start year 18. One way or the other, it's gonna happen. Oh, by the way, Dolmas, iron bars. Alright. It's the 18th of Obsidian. Before we get into the end of the year, even the last week, I want to grab another beer. Because, yeah, I only had one second. Well, I had a couple before the stream. Regardless, I want to grab another. So we got it. I'll be back in just a moment. All right. Okay. I'm back. Time to finish up year 17 of Umamnar. All right. So let's let time progress. We got some people singing down here. Yo, is that Cola Lore? He's only half dripped out. 2 to 3 drippy pieces. Still. He's living. He's pretty much stuck there. He's in no shape to travel by the looks of it. Oh, the dwarfs look so ready. Ooh, Domus has begun their mysterious construction. That was quick. He's just outside our door. We kill him. Maybe we become braver. Maybe we start getting some subterranean lumber. Which also means if I'm getting subterranean lumber, I'm gonna need to build some more wood burning furnaces down here. Yeah. Last week of Oblivion. Last week of Obsidian, and we're gonna fucking do it. The second that's carved, I'm sending them out, I'm building the door. They will slaughter
Monduloges, Udrosnar Beros, also known as grave holes, the fatal oblivion of funerals. How dare you take on the name Beros? That is our goddess's name, our goddess of death, our fatal urns, our Church of Oblivion. We're gonna hit the Penji, swig a beer, and then we're gonna fucking send it. Let's go. Come on, the second we're through, the second we're through. We've killed titans. Now give us beasts. Look, Uvabok is fucking ready for it. Yeah. The Emerald Swords, the Armored Laws. Kill that fucking thing. You step into the wild for the first time. Alright, Medtob's first one to hit. Punches the Forgotten Beast, and then stabs Forgotten Beast in the right foot. Vuz dead Tard Tob, Roth Casting has been lodged firmly in the wound. Force twist the right second leg. The Spearmaster pulls on her embedded spear and regains control. It's a spear, right? Yeah. Yeah, spear and shield combo. Classy. Yep. Who got the kill? Is it Yuzuthon? Nice.
don't want that. Not right now. Labor. Standing orders. Ooh! And Domas Teshkadzazir, the scribe has created Sumun Itdun, a tetrahedrite earring. He claims it as a family heirloom. Well, yeah, go right ahead. You've earned it. What does it mean, though? The Griffins of Charm. Okay. This is a tetrahedrite earring. All craft worship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with sheep wool and encircled with bands of horsebone. This object menaces with spikes of sandstone, iron, and donkey bone. On the item is an image of Sigyn Mirrodpast, the dwarf in tetrahedrite. Sigyn Mirrodpast is laughing. The artwork relates to the famed mood of the dwarf Sigyn Mirrodpast in the city of waters in the late winter of 12. On the item is an image of thick Rhymesack, the dwarf in limonite. On the item is an image of the cloisters of confusing, the Kalanite mechanisms in malachite. On the item is an image of sheet in sandstone. On the item is an image of an octahedral octahedron in sandstone. But we gotta go back down to 21. Kitty, get back in here. Get back in here, Kitty. Don't go out there. Yeah, detail that floor. Okay, he's got the steel door. Steel door's coming right up. Damn, Ushur. The mayor, of course, of course. Of course, it's Ushur the mayor. Oh. Oh, it saw us. Okay. It sensed our aura from here. I didn't think those things were that big. Don't be coming over here. Don't be coming over here. Yo, Kitty. What are you doing? Oh my god, Kitty's gonna get locked out. What are you doing? I gotta turn cleaning off. Aerith, please stop cleaning. Also, brother, Busher, I thought you were setting up the door. Where the fuck are you? Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, you fucking asshole.
you just abandon the job to go... Lady, you need to stop cleaning. Moldoth. No, stop letting the adults go ahead and just build the fucking thing. And... Okay, that is not where you fucking play make-believe. Lady, get the... Stop showing me that. Don't just stand there. What is she doing? Fuck it. Guess she's being silly. There. Now we can lock that door. With that door locked, we can cancel that order. I'll go back to training. Oh yeah, there's probably more stuff over here. I do plan on now building a bit of an exfiltration mustering point that's past these steel doors. Just for, you know, more safety. But, you know, it's the end of the year. You know, we're not doing that. We got our weapon trap set up, so that's huge. Anyone tries rolling through, through there,
Yeah. They ain't having a good time. But I do want to work down through this spire. See what I can find. That's pretty quiet in the basement of metal. Oh, fair amount of people worshiping. Yo, Cole! Cole's a good dude. We're still butchering roosters, it looks like. And slaughtering donkeys. Dude, everyone still hangs around the bar a lot. The library's pretty quiet. I don't think we got any new, no new written works this year. Wow, they went real hand to hand. More fists than weapons. Right. She wants more cloaks. We'll make more cloaks. Well, next year we'll make more cloaks because, just like in life, sometimes before you know it, the year is over. But that was year 17 of Umamnar, the Dark Oblivion. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Not quite. Almost. But not quite. There's one last thing I wanted to do. I didn't do it while we were actually, you know, doing the stream because I didn't want to get distracted. I wanted to be locked in so we could kill that forgotten beast and nothing would get in the fortress and no one died. Huge dub. We stepped in the caverns and no one died. Oh, we got unicorns, so we can go hunting again. We're not going to though, because we really need to butcher animals, and you know, having wild animals, and maybe we'll let some trees grow back up on the surface. We have coins down here. So of course, I feel like I've got a 17. Where's my sterling silver? I know I did sterling silver for this year. crazy. Oh! Okay. So that's the first time someone has claimed ownership over some of our money. That's actually huge. I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of that. Because now dwarves are holding currency. Yes. I I'm hyped about that. Of course, he is holding one of the relatively cheaper currencies, but you know, that's cool. You know, Billin is like the traditional metal of currency from olden times, and we are still very much in the olden times. So let's look at Kavish Alildiller, the miner. Kavish Gleeful Steel, 68 years old. Yeah, and he's just got his coins in his left hand. Let's take a peek at this. So Kavish Alildiller has a stack of 500 Angdamas 17 Billion coin. This is the Billion currency of Angdamas from the year 17. On the front of the coin is a masterfully designed image of Isempleted Crafts, the dwarf, and dwarves. Isempleted Crafts is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Isempleted Crafts to the position of Queen of the Red Guild in 1. On the coin's back is a rendition of the Prince of Gorges, a masterfully designed image of an octahedral octahedron. The image is the symbol of the Red Guild, a dwarven civilization. So like he's just got some very generic coin, but you know, he's the first dwarf who's holding currency. And I'm a fan of that. Alright. So we looked at the billion coins. Let's pick all the others real quick. So this is a stack of 500 Angdamas 17 copper coin. This is the copper currency of Angdamas from the year 17. On the front of the coin is an exceptionally designed image of Isempleted Crafts' dwarf and dwarves. Isempleted Crafts is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates the ascension of the dwarf Isempleted Crafts to the position of Queen of the Red Guild in 1. On the coin's back is a well-designed image of 3 tall crosses. And this is a stack of 500 Angdamas 17 bronze coin. This is the bronze currency of Angdamas from the year 17. On the front of the coin is a masterfully designed image of English Channelyons, the dwarf, and dwarves. English Channelyons is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the appointment of the dwarf English Channelyons to the position of diplomat of the Red Guild in 1. On the coin's back is a rendition of the Prince of Gorges, a masterfully designed image of an octahedral octahedron. The image is the symbol of the Red Guild, a dwarven civilization. And here we have a stack of 500 Angdamas 17 brass coin. This is the brass currency of Angdamas from the year 17. On the front of the coin is a rendition of the Prince of Gorges, a masterfully designed image of an octahedral octahedron. The image is the symbol of the Red Guild, a dwarven civilization. On the coin's back is a superiorly designed image of a forgotten beast. Here we have a stack of 500 Angdamas 17 silver coin. This is the silver currency of Angdamas from the year 17. On the front of the coin is a rendition of the Prince of Gorges, a masterfully designed image of an octahedral octahedron. The image is the symbol of the Red Guild, a dwarven civilization. On the coin's back is an image of a leaf or fruit. Here is a stack of 500 Angdamas 17 zinc coin. This is the zinc currency of Angdamas from the year 17. On the front of the coin is a finely designed image of Grimbleach, the Castrite scepter. On the coin's back is a superiorly designed image of Isempleted Crafts, the dwarf, and dwarves.
Ease Plated Crafts is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf. Ease Plated Crafts the position of Queen of the Red Guild in 1. Here we have a stack of 500 Angdamoth 17 Bismuth bronze coin. This is the bismuth bronze currency of Angdamoth from the year 17. On the front of the coin is a rendition of the Prince of Gorges, a masterfully designed image of an octahedron. The image is the symbol of the Red Guild, a dwarven civilization. On the coin's back is a masterfully designed image of Thicket Rhymesack, the dwarf and dwarves. Thicket Rhymesack is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the appointment of the dwarf Thicket Rhymesack to the position of General of the Red Guild in 1. And here we have a stack of 500 Angdamoth 17 fine pewter coin. This is the fine pewter currency of Angdamoth from the year 17. On the front of the coin is an exceptionally designed image of Ease Plated Crafts, the dwarf and dwarves. Ease Plated Crafts is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Ease Plated Crafts to the position of Queen of the Red Guild in 1. The coin's back is a well-designed image of Melville Chucktown, the dwarf, and a table. Melville Chucktown is raising the table. So really, it's got our two gal pals, because Easem and Melville are very close friends. Some might even say they were roommates. And here we have a stack of 500 Angdamoth 17 lay pewter coin. This is the lay pewter currency of Angdamoth from the year 17. On the front of the coin is a well-designed image of a gauntlet. On the coin's back is a masterfully designed image of dwarves. The dwarves are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Misty Bodice by the Rooms of Heart of the Red Guild in the early winter of 1. And here we have a stack of 500 Angdamoth 17 sterling silver coin. This is the sterling silver currency of Angdamoth from the year 17. On the front of the coin is an exceptionally designed image of Ease Plated Crafts, the dwarf and dwarves. Ease Plated Crafts is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Ease Plated Crafts to the position of the Queen of the Red Guild in 1. On the coin's back is a well-designed image of 2 dwarves. And here we have a stack of 500 Angdamoth 17 trifle pewter coin. This is the trifle pewter currency of Angdamoth from the year 17. On the front of the coin is an exceptionally designed image of dwarves. The dwarves are traveling. The artwork relates to the foundation of Misty Bodice by the Rooms of Heart of the Red Guild in the early winter of 6. On the coin's back is a well-designed image of Ease Plated Crafts, the dwarf and dwarves. Ease Plated Crafts is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Ease Plated Crafts to the position of Queen of the Red Guild in 1. And lastly, we have our big ticket item. A stack of 500 Angdamoth 17 platinum coin. This is the platinum currency of Angdamoth from the year 17. On the front of the coin is a rendition of the Prince of Gorges, a masterfully designed image of an octahedron. The image is the symbol of the Red Guild, a dwarven civilization. On the coin's back is a well-designed image of an icosahedron. That's a mouthful. So that's the currency we made this year, you know? I'm glad to see that my dwarves are finally starting to pocket some of that change. We're gonna start setting up more warehouses, mostly for the sake of having dwarves move stuff back and forth for when they are being weird about grabbing stuff. It's mostly my dwarves will grab the clothes that they need when they need them. If they're busy and they're doing work, they won't grab them, and someone else might grab the clothes they could have got, and then you need to make more. But when it comes to things like jewelry, unless they're coming across the stuff, they're not going to go out of their way looking for jewelry. So one of the good ways of doing that is by having your warehouses. So I have a separate warehouse where I'm going to be putting all of my bracelets and my figurines, because I can hardly ever sell those. And then I'm going to have another warehouse that's going to have, earrings, amulets, crowns, rings. Said earrings, and I couldn't remember rings for a moment. Um, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot of foot traffic going on in the next little while. Hopefully we can get our steel up. Where are we sitting right now for steel? 37. We're getting closer. Once we've got you know, 40, 45 steel, we'll start producing boots. After we got the boots made, we'll start producing leggings, and then we have to produce another 120 bars worth of steel to get our greaves. So it's definitely a time sink and a commitment, but it's so worthwhile because your dwarves become fairly indomitable, especially if they're legendary. They got top tier skills, and I believe that my dwarves do. So before we end the stream, one last thing I want to do is I want to look at the world map. Are there any known artifacts? Nothing mind-blowing. Of course, we haven't dealt with any other civilizations. We have Ushrir, who's a mayor, Olan, who's captain of the guard, Zuglar, our dungeon master, Mafal, the militia commander, Hidal, the hammerer, Cole, who's our manager, Nil, who's our chief medical dwarf, Istat, who's our broker, and Sibrek, who's our bookkeeper. And then we have Stakud, Cog, Sarbesh, and Zuglar as militia captains. And when we look at Angdomas, the Red Guild, we have Izum, Udistragoth, the Queen, and Cole Lorlor, Duke of the City of Waters, as well as Ubul Ishinlorban, the Baroness of Sterncrafted, Thicket Nunirfath, the General, Ingish Katanam, our diplomat, and Melbil and Mikamost, the outpost liaison. Let's look real quick. We have 351 dwarves in our fortress. No migrants this season. 351 at the capital of the Red Kingdom. The mountain home of the Red Kingdom is Sterncrafted. Of course, there's the hillocks of Submerged Bridged and Galley Line. And then we have Misty Bodice with 100 dwarves, Orbheld with 100 dwarves, Silver Phrases with 100 dwarves, and Dalborbs with 100 dwarves. So we've got over 1,200 dwarves in our civilization. We have a chonky civilization, probably one of the bigger ones, but I can't be certain. I'm kind of living life in a fishbowl or a mountain bowl, a dell or whatever you would call this valley within the mountains. We got rivers and lakes and forests. It's a region. Technically, it's multiple regions, but at the end of the day, it's the kingdom of the Red Guild, and that's all that really matters. Any news? Any rumors? Grimbleach, Seventh Fortresses, Trade Feast, Dance Noble? Yeah, none of this is new. No new written content. We need to make a push on our libraries again. Needs to be done. I mean, I've got writing material.
I've also got like a full suite of books. So I probably have a bunch of written on choirs. Alright, some tools, right? Okay, yeah, so we can definitely make some book bindings, bind some books, and sell them next year, and then make more books and bind those and sell those. But yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. Just gonna save, return to title menu, save to the main save, and call it a night. Get a decent night's sleep and come back and do it all over again. Play more Dwarf Fortress. Histories of cupidity and resourcefulness.